All right, folks, this is the moment we've all been waiting for here. Let's see what we got here in the box. All right, we got our instructions here. Nice little packaging right there. Ooh. Look at this big dog right here, boy. Look at that big old thing. All right, so we'll take this out. Got bubble wrap under it. We have some assorted screws and whatnot. We'll see what those go to in a little bit. We have some wiring harnesses and things. We'll see what that goes to too. We got some dash removal tools. So we have these plates right here, and they hold the existing hardware to our other radio. I'll take all that out and do a little surgery. Manual air conditioner. So that's a trim ring. Got little things in with that, don't lose that. This is automatic climate control. So that's automatic, so we'll pick out which one of those we need in a minute. Some trim bezel pieces. And these pieces are the pieces that go beside the radio on the bottom. So I don't have the center console that butts up to here. So I have the jump seat, so like a bench seat all the way across. So these are gonna be what I need. So they had to finish making these. So this should be the first install you've seen with the jump seats and not a center console.
Hey guys, welcome to Lee's Life. Today I'm going to show you how to install the Carabc 8 to 12 inch in-dash touchscreen that works with the Sync 3.4. I'm going to be putting it in a 2019 Ford F-250. I don't have the center console, I have the jump seat. So you'll see what I'm talking about in just a minute, so stay tuned and check it out. It's going to be a kind of a quick, down and dirty, how to get it done fast. So you don't have to watch a long video. So stay with me, I'll be right back.
All right, guys, so first things first. So before anything happens with the install, what you have to do is upgrade from 3.0 to 3.4 on your sync. I've already done that. It took me a few hours because I've never done it before. So you'll have to get a USB stick, do it on your laptop, and I will try to link a video from Colt's Way. And he's another guy here in Louisiana, and he'll show you how to do it. He's better explaining than I am. So first thing you have to do is go into settings, then tap general, go down to the bottom and go to about sync, and that'll show the version that you have. Mine is 3.4, like I said, I've upgraded already. So now that I've upgraded, the next thing we have to do is pull this out and take this off, which this is not gonna bother y'all because it's just a phone holder. So, all right, so I'm gonna get this little tool here and get in the side and pull this little tray up. All right, so in here we have a couple bolts. So I believe they're 7mm. Okay, so problem number one. I used my 7mm to get in there. Right when I went to put it up in the hole, it slipped right off and fell right into the vent. So now my 7mm, the only one I had, is gone forever. So in case you need to know, you can get by with the 9/32 to get those two bolts out. Now we're gonna raise this up to get to two more bolts down here. All right, so that's just a clip here and there and there. So 3 clips, and this is gonna pull out. So we're not gonna unhook this. We're gonna leave it like it is. So don't have to. Now we're gonna get these 2 bolts right there out. So do yourself a favor and keep all your screws in a certain spot. Okay, so with those 2 screws out, this is gonna pretty much fall off like this. There you go. So now what we're gonna have to do is get behind here, and there's 3 connections we have to take off to these switches. Quick tip, if you can't remember the orientation where these little buttons go, just take a little video or a picture of them. Also, same thing, take a little video of those. You can't really mess them up, I think, but I'm not gonna put this on camera, so you just squeeze the little clippy and pull them out. Okay, so now that we've gotten those disconnected back there, we're gonna disconnect these 2 guys here, this one and this one. So the whole centerpiece will come out and be free. After that, we're gonna start attacking these screws back here. All right, so this part is free. Now keep this, because you're gonna have to go disassemble all this in just a moment. Okay, so next we have to pop these guys off. So I've already stuck my little tool in they gave me down here, pop that off, and on this side and pop that off. So I believe these should just pull right off because they're just clipped in. So we're gonna pop these off and come back when I got them off. I gotta take this off from behind there, and this will clip off from behind there. Same thing with on this side. So these should just pop right off, which that's popping off. And we'll come back in just a minute. I don't want to snatch them off. I want to use both hands, so hang tight. All right, so in order to get this off all the way, you got to take this screw out right here, which is the 7mm or the 9/32. So we just unscrew that, pull this down, and this is going to come out because it's clipped inside of there. I don't know if you can see that. It's clipped inside of there. So we got to unclip that. We're going to unclip that and take it out. I'm going to go to the other side, and I assume there's a screw over there, but it might pull out enough to get that one out too. So I'm going to try to only unscrew one screw on this side. So hang tight. Okay, so here we go. We got those two side panels off, excuse me. And now we're going to get the radio part, the touchscreen part, and pull that out. So I'm just going to take my 9/16 and we're going to take those screws out, and I'll come right back. All right, so we've taken all of our screws out, and good on Ford for making all the screws the same size, and that's great. So you don't have to worry about what size screws go where. So we're gonna reach up here and try to just pull this out. Look at that, whoop, pulls right out. Now we're gonna get back here and we're gonna unhook a few things. Okay, so this guy right here, you're gonna press it's on like this. And you're gonna reach under there behind and press this little pressy right here, and you're gonna pull that right out. This, we're gonna press this in right here, and that's gonna pull out. This, we're gonna press this down, and this is gonna rotate over, and it's gonna come out. So just hang tight, and I'm gonna get all these out. For the four-wheel drive adjustment, there's gonna be two screws where those black holes are there and there. You take those screws out, and then this will come out like this. And then this will pop out. We're just gonna transfer that over into this one and put the screws back in. Okay, the next thing here is to remove these Torx head with a T10. So it says in the instructions right here that there's a whole bunch of them, but I only see 4. So we're gonna start there, and I'm gonna come back once I get them out. Okay, so that's the only 4 I had, and this is pretty much more or less just a protective cover. So now that that's off, we're just gonna stick him out of the way. Over here somewhere. Now I'm gonna keep my 4 screws. I don't know if I'm gonna reuse them or not. But here's the next thing we're gonna get down to, the nitty gritty here. We're gonna be popping these off ribbon cables. We're gonna be, I think, removing all these T10 screws as well. But hang tight, I'll go to the next step. All right, so we've taken the 6 screws out, the knobs and rings, and I laid this on top of here. And now we're back to the shell. So now what we're gonna do is take these out, so we'll have them for the other piece over there. So these just squeeze like this and pop out the front. And you're just gonna do that with each one and pop those out. All right, so we have our buttons pop back in where they go. And this happens to look just like mine. So it's gonna work just perfectly. So we're not gonna worry about trying to reuse the same one. We're just gonna reuse this guy. Flip this around. I'm using this piece of styrofoam that came with it, so we can set this on there so it won't get all scratched up. So now we're gonna start working on the rest of it. So something I didn't notice when putting mine back in, I didn't have a light ring on the tune side. I did have a light ring on the volume side, but it's too late for that. So I'm not really worried about it because I've noticed it before. So when you drop these in, they have these little pegs right here. So they drop right on, they'll drop right on the pegs. There we go. All right, so that's in there. And this one, same thing. The light rings are gonna drop in first. If you notice, they have an orientation about them. They fit right here in these little notches up here. And then this slides in and goes on the little hooks right there, just like the other side. All right, so they make it pretty easy to go back in here. Those same little things line back up right here, right there, right there, right there. So it just goes in on those things and it's in place. So I'm gonna put the screws in, and I think it's here, here, and here for sure. I think one more up here. So we're gonna put those in, and I'll come right back. So the screws they come with are these. So we'll probably just bust these open and use these. All right, so there's 2 different color screws, black ones, and then longer silver ones, okay? It's looked like in the instructions right here, we are calling for black to be in these holes right here. So it looks like this hole, that hole, this hole, in that hole. It looks like the silver, we're gonna go, it looks like the silver is gonna go outside, outside, and then inside here, inside here. So we're gonna do the black ones first and then the silver ones. And they're like a little bitty screw head, like a P1. All right, we got them in. So silver is up top here and down the left side of the black one, silver at the top, and on the right side of this black one. And you'll know if you put a black one in the silver hole, it's just gonna sink straight down because the silver ones are longer. So that's where the orientation where these go. And once again, same thing. Those little tabs on the light ring go down in those little spots. And then you can see how those little indentations stick up there and there and there, right there and right there in the middle. So that's how that goes. And that's gonna look like that. Then we're gonna get the circuit board and we're gonna stick it right on top of there and then we're gonna screw her down, I believe. Okay, this seems like a pretty easy install to put back together. So you just pop those things in like I showed you, lay that down. This right here will go right back over this and it should align back with those pins. Just lay right down on it. So let's see if I can do it as easy as I did a while ago in real time. These pins right there, right there, and right there. Boop, there it is. So they hold it like that and you're back to business. You got the light trim in there and everything is back. So it's just like that. So the easiest way to set it is just set it on your leg. Because if you don't, you set it on the dial's gonna push everything out. So set it like that. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get the screws and put in here, and I'll show you that after we get done. Okay, so we got the screws in. You can tell there's it calls for two different ones, black, black, silver, silver, black, black, silver, silver. Now do yourself a favor, I didn't mention this earlier. I probably should go back and say it, but if you made it this far, don't come from grandma's house and crack these down because you'll crack the circuit board. I don't know if it'll hurt anything or not, but I just got them just snug to where nothing's moving. Okay, so this has this little ridge running down here and 3 screw holes. See the ridge? The ridge is gonna line up with this ridge and these 3 screw holes right here. So we're gonna put this in here, move the ribbon cables out of the way, and then once you get them in there, the screws, 2.6 by 10s, there's gonna be 3 of these that go in there. So we're gonna put those in and come right back. Okay, we got our 3 screws in, 1, 2, and 3. Once again, don't over tighten because you break the plastic. It says use hot melt electric tape. I didn't have any of that, so I just used regular old electric tape and just put across here and wrapped it around the edges right here and right here. So to keep it kind of in place. Now, the next step we got here, we're going to go to this panel right here. And this panel is gonna install on here like this and screw down. So I'm gonna come back in just a moment when we have it done. Okay, so we have our little black screws in there, here, here, there, and there. So that's gonna secure this down more. So next step is we're gonna take the 8-pin module off, which I believe it's gonna be here, here, and here. And I'm gonna do that, and then we will mount it to this plate right here. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, to screw this in, we're gonna line it 2 holes in 1 hole, just like that. Line up the holes. Then we're gonna use these 4mm by 8mm, and they're gonna go in each one of the holes. So we're just gonna screw that down and come right back. All right, this little blue wire goes there. Make sure this came in a locked position, so make sure it's down. So slide back into here and click in place like that. And this is gonna go back over the top and close, just like that. So that's in and that's in. Hang tight. Okay, so we have the antenna wire hooked back up. We have this blue wire hooked back up, and that blue wire is going to run down and out and go to the new screen. We also have this one hooked up. You just slide it back in there and click it like this one. So that's no problem. So then what we're gonna do is put all this back up in the dash and make sure that you have this notch at the top to give clearance for these, to give clearance for the buttons that go at the top up there. So I'm gonna need both hands in a second to just kind of finagle this around, but I'll come back in a second. I'm gonna use the factory screws to screw right back into it. So we'll be right back. All right, I'm gonna save you some time here. So instead of putting all this back together and everything and then turning it on to try it, what I did was I tested it first. So this is one of the problems that you might run into. So it says disconnect and connect that little rocker, that big long switch, until this goes away. So right now what I'm gonna do is take this back off and I'm gonna disconnect it and connect it until this works again. That's what it says in the instructions, so just hang tight. Okay, looks like we only had to disconnect it and connect it once. So I don't want to ruin the surprise here, but it's kind of where we're at so far. All right, so this came with a little extra piece, so I'm going to slide that in here, and we're going to screw that down to the back side. And this is where my other stuff in the truck on the dash that's already in the truck will go. I think it's my trailer brakes or something. So I'm going to screw this back here and then come back right back. I don't have anything on this piece, so it's easy. Okay, so this little USB cable here, it says it's for updates. I don't know what that means. So I'm going to run it down here, under here, and kind of tuck it back behind this panel right here in case I ever need it. But right now, I'm going to try to put the little side pieces on first because they're kind of hard to finagle down here, and I want to make sure I have plenty of room to move around before I put the big whopper jaw on there. So stay put. I'm going to try to get these pieces. These little pieces right here, I'm going to go right down in there and clip to that little piece. Little piece right in here. You can touch it with your finger. So that's going to go around there. These clips are just going to snap back in the factory spots. Piece of cake. Y'all got it. I believe in you. All right, so hang tight, and I'll try to get this back together, putting all the clips back together, and just sticking it up in the dash and screwing it down with 2 screws. That should be all that's left. So hang tight. All right, boys and girls. So we got the 2 pieces on this side. Looks like it fits pretty good. So we're gonna see what happens when I do that. So now I'm not gonna video this, but I gotta hook up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plugs ish, 10 somewhat, and then try to get this finagled in here just correct. So I'll come right back, and after I got it in here, this is all pretty much plug and play. If you took it apart, we should be able to put it back together. So hang tight. All right, time for the grand reveal. So it took some fitting to get in there. This is the only fitment issue that I have. I'm going to reach out to him about this and just to see if there's another piece. Or so this is the first time that these have been made. So this is the first time mold. So this is how it's going to look when you don't have a center console. I mean, that's beautiful over there. It flushes up great. Everything's flush around the edges. Look at that. I'm sorry. Here's the grand reveal. If you stayed with me for this long, here we go. Air's working. Fan speed works. This probably doesn't work. I added it in 4-scan each side. Volume works.
Which at the time was a massive.
And then also have my wireless CarPlay. I got Pandora, so I can do wireless now with the update 3.4. That's what you can do. Like a little nice. Watch this, a little nice home screen. Look at this little home screen, that's pretty cool. It's like the little one, but just really big, so. But all my stuff works.
All right, guys, so if you followed along all the way and you like this video and you like this type of content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow me for more. Also, check out Carabc. But as for now, that's how you install this. I will have to say that I was sent this unit for a really great price to test it and make a video. I'm gonna give you an honest review though. I like it. It's really big. It's not bad to put together. Just follow the instructions. It works just like the regular one, except for it has some more features because it's bigger screen. But I love it. It makes my truck look almost, it feel like a brand new truck.
I needed to add something real quick into this. So I wanted to go into 4-scan and change my splash screen and some things here. And I went in, changed it, reset the APIM, you know, switched on, switched off. If you're familiar with 4-scan, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I clicked it back on and went back to the 8-inch screen, and I unplugged it and plugged it back in 20 times and it still never worked right. So I just went back in and changed it back to default. So whatever the default is, I don't know how to change it, so don't go in there jacking with 4-scan. You're gonna mess something up. So anybody that knows more about 4-scan than I do, that wants to change the splash screen that was successful with this, let me know. But I had to go back in, and after I've taken the whole damn radio back out and put it back in, I had to reset it back to default what I had before, and it worked So who knows? All right, just wanted to share that with y'all, save y'all some time.